you thought was normal and ended up being a medical problem. I thought everyone heard the vacuum cleaner screaming when it turned on. For years, my parents told me I was being dramatic when I covered my ears during everyday stuff. Turns out I wasn't dramatic at all. When I was little, probably like 3 or 4, I'd always ask my mom why the TV was so loud. She'd check the volume and it would be on like 15, which is pretty normal. But to me, it sounded like someone was yelling in my ear. My parents thought I was just being a weird kid. As I got older, things got worse. I started wearing these chunky noise-canceling headphones to school assemblies because the microphone feedback made me want to throw up. During fire drills, I would literally hide under my desk crying because the alarm felt like someone was stabbing my eardrums with a fork. The school nurse started calling my parents saying I was having panic attacks during normal school activities. My mom took me to our family doctor when I was 8. He did the basic hearing test where you raise your hand when you hear the beep. My hearing was perfect, so he said I probably had anxiety. That's when the real nightmare started. Every little sound became torture. The microwave beeping sounded like a fire truck siren. When my dad would start his car in the garage, I could feel the engine vibrations in my chest and it made me dizzy and sick. I stopped eating dinner with my family because the sound of forks scraping plates made me want to scream. My parents were getting frustrated with me. My mom would say stuff like normal people don't get panic attacks from the dishwasher running. My dad thought I was making it up for attention. They sent me to a counselor who gave me breathing exercises and told me to download meditation apps. By the time I turned 14, I couldn't function anymore. I stopped riding in cars because the engine noise made me nauseous. Showers hurt my ears so bad I could only take them for like 2 minutes. I couldn't go to restaurants because the sound of people talking mixed with plates clinking sounded like metal scraping against metal. One day during sophomore year, we had a fire drill and I completely lost it. I collapsed in the hallway sobbing and shaking. The sound was so overwhelming I thought my head was going to explode. 3 teachers had to carry me to the nurse's office. Most of my teachers thought I was being overdramatic, but my substitute science teacher, Mrs. Lopez, noticed something different. She saw me covering my ears and flinching every time she used the pencil sharpener, or when kids zipped up their backpacks. After class, she pulled me aside. She asked if loud sounds had always bothered me this much. When I told her yes, she said her sister had something similar and suggested my parents take me to an audiologist, not just a regular doctor. My parents were reluctant because we'd already spent so much money on doctors and counselors who said nothing was wrong. But Mrs. Lopez actually called my mom herself and explained what she'd observed. She said I wasn't being difficult or seeking attention. Something was genuinely wrong. Finally, my mom scheduled an appointment with a hearing specialist. The audiologist did way more tests than our family doctor ever did. She tested not just if I could hear sounds, but how my brain processed them. She played different frequencies and volumes while monitoring my reactions. After 2 hours of testing, she sat down with me and my parents. She said I had something called hyperacusis. Basically, my brain's volume control was broken. Normal everyday sounds that don't bother most people were being amplified in my head. She explained that my brain had essentially turned up the volume on everything without my permission, making ordinary sounds feel painful or overwhelming. My parents were shocked. My mom started crying because she realized all those times she told me to stop being dramatic, I was actually in real physical pain. My dad felt terrible for all the family dinners I'd missed and car rides where I'd begged him to turn off the radio. The diagnosis changed everything. I started sound therapy where I gradually exposed myself to different volumes while wearing special ear filters. I also got counseling to help deal with the anxiety that had built up from years of not knowing what was wrong with me. It wasn't a magic cure, but having a name for what I was experiencing made all the difference. I wasn't crazy or dramatic or attention-seeking. I had a real medical condition that explained why the world sounded different to me than it did to everyone else. I ended up making an infographic about hyperacusis for my health class presentation.